Yeah, just something to start off with maybe is to possibly reflect on is that the ecosystem and just the environment that's all around us is way more complicated than we thought. So maybe just what you initially think of a big field and stuff like that, it's much more complicated than that. There's something that maybe I can bring up is something called a keystone species, which is just, for an example, a wolf in the Yellowstone National Park. There's an introduction of those wolves again because they disappeared, and since their disappearance, there's a massive surge of elk in their population, and that actually affected the whole environment, not just the elk population and grass, but also the trees, the streams, rocks, things like that, you know. Um, but the wolves are what's called a keystone species. They have an indirect correlation with how they affect the environment. So if the wolf population goes away, like I just said, or I'll reiterate that the elk population will affect everything. So having the wolves are actually extremely important. That's why it's called a keystone species. It's that they're kind of a relatively small population, but they're really important. Or if you don't mow your lawn for, I don't know, 6 months, years, you'll actually have a whole new environment that will just have all kinds of unique animals and plants and little bugs and things like that that are just from all over the place. You would never even see if you didn't mow your lawn for a while. So maybe a good thing to take away from this kind of thing is that we just see the environment a little differently than how it should be. You know, most people think of just park rangers in a enclosed, heavily regulated forest, but maybe we should just kind of let nature do its thing. And if it needed something, small little touch to help it flourish naturally, you can do so, but maybe not having a highly regulated forest, because if something goes off wrong that's slightly different, it'll affect the whole ecosystem. And that's just something to think about. Maybe we can save the environment and do something good and healthy without having to preserve it like those national parks that we think of so often. That's all about I got for today. Thanks.